Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Baron here. I am so excited. Almost as equally as excited. You know what? I can't really decide yet. Am I more excited for the B-29 or the Focke-Wulf 200? I'll be honest with you. I think I'm more excited for the Focke-Wulf 200 because this is a plane that I have been wanting to fly for a long time now. I'm in a custom battle, and I felt it only appropriate to put the Condor here. Oh gosh, look at all these ships. I'm gonna get it blow up over a map where I get a bomb. Vasily, what are you doing over there? He's crazy. He just crashed over a map where I get to bomb ships because this thing used to be called the Scourge of the Atlantic by Winston Churchill. Let's see which bombs drop first. Alright, the wing bombs. And then we've got an internal bomb bay. Oh, actually we only armed two 1,000 kilos. So we're not using the internal bomb bay, which is interesting, I guess. I'm not sure how it's set up. Let's see, we've got a rear gunner here. Hey buddy, how you doing? We've got a front gunner. Do we have two? Oh, yes we do. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 gunners, 2 facing forward, 2 facing reverse. There's no kind of gunners on the side. We almost have this dorsal turret thing. But what's interesting, I was kind of shocked, but I guess I should have looked into the Focke-Wulf 200 a little more, is that, yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be, it's a tier 2 with a battle rating of 2.7 bomber. And it's 4-engine, and I love it because the Germans needed, you know, a 4-engine heavy bomber. I think that's for sure. So the Focke-Wulf 200 is just it. What would be cool is, you know, whoa, was that a splash? Looked like a splash. Let's see if we can't hit him at altitude. Just kind of show the ineffectiveness, really. One of those is definitely going to miss. Let's see how close. Look at those little explosions behind it. High altitude bombing. We got a hit because it... Oh, a little in front of it. Alright. But man, there was actually this cool remote-controlled bomb that the Germans used. Look at this flak. I'm loving it. I'm loving it already, man. Scourge of the Atlantic indeed. But that the Germans used, and they bombed Italian ships actually when Italy was getting taken over by the United States. America went up in there, divide and conquer, as it were. Kind of split the focus that the Germans had, you know, by basically invading the vulnerable underbelly of Europe, which is what was considered Italy. Oh gosh, we got a bit of a fuel fire here, so we'll cut it. Hopefully we don't burn up. Oh gosh, no, we're falling apart, baby. Gunner's unconscious. We're losing all the gunners. This is not gonna work out. Are we gonna be able to get... Oh! Tell you what. Got killed by a destroyer. So we're just gonna J out real quick, and we're just gonna have to do this again. But man, am I excited. This is more just kind of talking about all the things, how excited I truly am to have this in the game. You know, let's go with 6 500 since we're going with destroyers. One 500 kilo bomb, at least now, since ships don't really have true damage models. They just kind of have, like, you know, a certain amount that they can take. We're gonna approach the smaller. Look at this, the tracer fire. See, we don't want to go into another just giant tracer cluster, so we'll pick these 3 destroyers. One 500 kilo bomb should do it. But yeah, so this remote control bomb was dropped by these Focke-Wulf 200s as well as a bunch of other bombers, and it'd be cool to have stuff like that. It's kind of like an Oka that the Japanese used, the rocket propelled aircraft. So we've only got a little bit till all those planes are dead. Oh man, I really enjoy bombing. Giovanni. My name is Giovanni. Speaking of Italians here. But man, it's so great to see the Focke-Wulf 200. This thing was used to support the Kriegsmarine, U-boats, kind of scout them out and be like, yo, Wolfpack, attack here, attack there. To great effect. That's why Winston Churchill hated them so much and gave them that nickname, which is a pretty cool nickname. So I'm going to be dropping kind of 2 because we got reloads. Now, would I do this in a realistic battle? Probably not. And we're still likely to miss since we're coming at such a high speed, and we could get flaked. Hopefully that works. Missed. Oh shoot, they're dropping the little boats. Or those boats are already dead. Okay. But yeah, so, oh no, we did kill the destroyer, yes? No, we did not. It was killed by all the other allied destroyers here. Which makes you really, really hope for ships at some point. That would be great. Maybe that's why we missed, actually, was we didn't miss, but the destroyer was killed by the allied. Oh, that one's dead. So now we're gonna find some land targets to go after. But I honestly think this is one of the most beautiful, beautiful planes in War Thunder. It used to be an airliner until it was commissioned by the Germans, basically, to use as a long-range bomber, a transport. And I think even Hitler used one as his personal transport. And I don't even think it had gunners. I think it was pretty much just straight up, you know, but obviously he'd fly with an escort. Alright, so we're just gonna be... Where's our next target? Can we hit this one? Can we not get killed by our own bombs? Yeah! Look at that! Now let's mix it up and see how the gunners do. There's only 3 enemies right now, including Pedro, who look to be inverted right now. Listen to these 7.92s going at it. So in front and in back are very vulnerable, but to the sides, this plane is rather vulnerable for sure. But it's rather formidable in the front and the back, and coming below it or above it won't really be viable. So we got bombs reloaded, and we're gonna try to shoot down Pedro. I think this is a plane that I would really enjoy taking on kind of, you know, one of those like secret mission type things where you get into a realistic battle, you get Fly Daily with you, and then we say, alright, we're gonna fly this way. We're not even getting... Okay, there's the hits. Rear gunner. Can't... Man, just not hitting. Looks like my gunners are being split between 2 targets of opportunity. So this thing does not have near the gunner support that the B-29 has for obvious reasons. But you know what? Let's make another run. We've got 3 planes left. So I think these are more... Yeah, these... I mean, this thing does not have very good gunners relative to a lot of the other nation's bombers. The setup is rather limiting. These are not turrets, so it's got a very limited range. But it's a piece of history, and I dare say it is the most beautiful, beautiful plane in the game, in my personal opinion. What would be cool is to see a Deutsche Lufthansa paint scheme for this thing. That would be awesome. But I think this was also the first plane that went non-stop from Berlin to New York. Like, or I think they did it with blimps, but I think this may have been the first plane. Now feel free to fact check that and let us all know. But we're gonna make a run on these destroyers. We've got 1 plane left. Hopefully he's gonna stay alive. There he is, Mr. Henry in the Fury. War Thunder Fury. When are we gonna get the Fury tank? Alright, so we gotta get this destroyer without getting wrecked like we did last time, man. But you saw how this thing just lit up. It was just flint and tinder, man. Ooh, and we were getting hammered. All right, and you know what? We're gonna drop it on this cargo ship. We're gonna do some merchant raiding, which the Germans actually used this plane to great effect as a commerce raider. Until what's really awesome, and I wonder if this game could incorporate it, even if it's just AI or something like that. I mean, if I was in charge of development, I would, but they had these things called CAMs. Catapult Assisted something or other, where basically you'd see a cargo ship like this, and there'd be a little rail, and then there'd be a Spitfire sitting on it. And a Spitfire would get catapulted off the rail and take off, and it would be used to support these ships and protect them against bombers. So basically, imagine if all those cargo ships had this little AI Spitfire they could launch. How cool would that be? That's what I love about World War II, is just the ingenuity. It was basically a stopgap measure that the Brits used because they had issue with availability of, let's see, is there another destroyer? There is, so we're going to come at this one perpendicularly instead of going down the beam, and we are just getting wrecked by all the flak from these cargo ships. But if they had something like that, man, I would love. I mean, it's the little details like that, or if they did implement U-boats and you could go sub-hunting and stuff like that. Can we knock it out? Boom, baby. We did. So, our plane's getting absolutely wrecked and shreked right now. So we're going to find ourselves a nice cargo ship, and we are going to be honorable. Assuming we don't get flaked before we hit it. Hostile team has lost all the vehicles, so we're not able to go. But look at this bad boy. 4-engine, heavy bomber, capable of carrying a lot. Ooh, look at that. Oh man, I didn't think to do that earlier. How silly of me. How foolish of me. Fool of a took. But, oh my gosh, I got top of the game. Look how good I am, guys. Skills. So we'll back out of there. Yeah, I want to quit. Get off my junk, mate. And we're just going to look at this. Think about how many cool paint schemes people are going to have for this. I will actually learn how to use paint schemes just for this plane. And for other ones. But I love the way this plane looks. I wish it had that remote control bomb. I wish we had cam launched Spitfires and Hurricanes on these AI transports. That would be cool. I'd like to have, you know, War Thunder ships, but I think all this stuff points to, and I'm gonna kind of go off topic, is the potential that this game has. I've loved it since day one, and 2 years later, I still am really enjoying it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Focke-Wulf 200 Condor. I thank y'all for watching. Make sure to let me know which new vehicle you want me to cover out of the 1.47 patch. Make sure to pull the trigger on the like button, share the video with friends. Stuff like that really helps me out, and I really thank y'all for that little bit of extra. You know, it takes a second or two to pull the trigger on the like button. It takes a second or two to share the video on Twitter or something like that. Helps me out. I love you guys for it. So with that, I will see you all soon.